We said this earlier in the show. We're going to reiterate it right now. Everything is set up perfectly for the Carolina Hurricanes to win the Stanley Cup this year. Not just get to the Stanley Cup Finals, but win the Cup this year. Because Devils are the only team that was in the top part of the league, or at least top part of the Eastern Conference that's in their way. Are you already up 3-1 over them? Rangers, gone. Bruins, gone. Tampa Bay Lightning, gone. You don't have to worry about that. And then the Western Conference, all those other teams are beating up on each other. So you only have to worry about whoever comes out of the West. You don't have to worry about, well, are we going to play Edmonton or obviously Colorado's out or Vegas. Doesn't matter. Let them take care of each other. But to get to the Stanley Cup Finals, you have a chance to do that this season, and it's as good a time as ever the way their roster is constructed right now. It's a perfect time to make this happen.
And it's funny because Carolina's painted as this underdog by the national media. And it's like, are you guys aware
this was the second best record in the league?
They have the highest points total remaining, home ice throughout, a 3-1 advantage in this series. And the media may not have taken notice of where we are right now in the scheme of things, but Vegas has.
Vegas has.
Just brought up the odds. The Hurricanes plus 250, $100 bet wins you $250. They are the favorite to win the Stanley Cup.
You know, here's the thing. Yesterday it was a plus 275, so those odds have actually gone down even further.
Well, it speaks to kind of the point that we're making and that what people are realizing around the country. And I think betting odds sometimes are influenced by the fact that teams like the Oilers are going to draw money, you know, with stars like Connor McDavid.
He's all world.
The Hurricanes aren't a team that
universe.
Average fan knows who these guys are, but you're about to.
Yeah.
And one of the points we've been hitting on is how anybody and everybody can beat you on this team. But Sebastian Aho is that superstar difference that can help lift them through. One of the other reasons why this is the now window. Yeah. They've already got Aho under contract. The way he's playing right now, he's underpaid.
Yeah.
He's a superstar-type player. He's made superstar-type plays throughout this thing, and I just love the way they're built throughout, where they have that balanced offset it, and then he's the guy that can come in, step up, make a play when you need it. We talked about Martinook, all the points he's having, but Sebastian Aho is the one that's leading this team in points, and he should be. That's what's asked of him. Rod Brind'Amour doesn't shy from it. Neither does Aho. He embraces it, and he's delivered.
And on paper, they might have better teams on paper in the future. Because, again, right now, you're not factoring in that Svechnikov or Pacioretty or Teravainen because they're not playing right now. So you're not counting them in terms of what their on-ice product is. Now, on paper, if you add those three guys back into this current lineup, you're like, wow, that team's even better than what they are right now. But just because your roster is better overall doesn't guarantee any sort of success. Just look at the teams that went all in at the trade deadline. Look at the New York Rangers, how they loaded up, or how even the Boston Bruins loaded up. They get bounced in the first round. Even the New Jersey Devils made trades, big-time trades at the trade deadline. The big move that the Carolina Hurricanes made was Shane Gostisbehere, and he's a third defensive pair, and he's on their second power play unit. So it's not like they got some old, not trying to knock down on Shane Gostisbehere, but it's not like they went out and got Cale Makar or something along those lines, one of these top high-level defensemen. No, they stayed the course. We heard Don Waddell say, we like our team. Well, I love their team right now, the way that they're playing. You've got 21 goals in 4 games, but no chance better than ever to take care of business tonight against the Devils. And then you're looking at the Florida Panthers most likely in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I have no doubt whatsoever that the Carolina Hurricanes can beat the Florida Panthers in a 7-game series. It might take 6 or 7 against them. They got one of the best players in the world in Matthew Tkachuk, but they can beat the Florida Panthers in a 7-game series. They absolutely can. Take care of the business you can tonight, be rested up and ready to go because, again, the chance to win the Cup, it ain't next year, it ain't the year after that. This window for however many years, no, the window's wide open right now. Jump through it, burst through it, however you got to do it, but take care of it right now because this chance does not come every year.
You don't know when things are going to flip. I think we've gotten complacent here a little bit as fans. Maybe not complacent is the right word, but used to the success that you've seen from this team.
Which is weird because they never had it really sustained long-term before.
And eventually you start to wonder, when are things going to flip for the fans? When is the disappointment going to set in if they don't take advantage of those opportunities? And this year might have been that year, but then some of the injuries kind of reset your expectations. We're like, well, we don't know how far this team can really go after they lose to Svechnikov. And now those expectations are flushed back to the surface where you're the favorite in this conference. And like you said, you've got to take advantage of it. I just think it's interesting how this team has been built as well, Dennis. Just to make a quick point here, I was going through all the remaining scorers in the playoffs, the top scorers. I had to get down to the 15th name to get to Sebastian Aho. You got other teams that have 2 to 3 guys on this list as far as goal scorers.
Yeah.
So that kind of speaks to your point about the depth of that. It isn't one guy that can beat you. It's all these guys. And that superstar isn't necessarily the name of the game in hockey. It's not football where a quarterback has to carry you through. You could do it with the team. You could do it with the system, and that's what the Carolina Hurricanes have.
And Rob Brennan-Moore said it himself that if we were reliant on one guy to carry us through, we weren't getting far at all. And, yeah, the fact that there are 15 guys before you even get to Sebastian Aho in terms of top scorers in terms of points in these postseason. And this is including having scored 21 goals in the 4 games of this series. The most, and David Piper, who works for the communication staff here at the Carolina Hurricanes, tweeted this back to me the other day. The most ever scored in a 4-game stretch in the Stanley Cup playoffs ever has been 23 goals.
Wow.
And Canes have 21 in the last 3. But you also have Jordan Martinook, who has 9 points in this series alone.
I think it speaks a little bit, too, to how the game has changed.
Yeah.
This series reminded me a little bit of NBA basketball in the three-point era, where sometimes the team that wins is the team that comes out and hits their threes, and it's just that simple, and you can win by 20, and it swings back and forth. That's been kind of a detriment to watching NBA basketball at times because it's not that exciting to watch 20-point blowouts. But that's a little bit what you're seeing in hockey now, where the skill can rise to the top, where if you give one of these guys a window, they're going to bury the shot.